So this video is going to be about madness. You probably can't see my face that well, but yeah. I've just come across some Nick Jones. Now I talked about him yesterday. He was saying some really crazy things about the Bible and about how Adam and Eve were living in a perfect life just because they were walking with God. Yes, I was here in the past. I was a cave woman and I walked with a whole tribe of people. And their only purpose was to walk with God, but I was just a cave woman who didn't actually know anything, and having the purpose of walking with God would have actually just meant not living a very nice life, because none of us did. We didn't have anything back then, and my only purpose was to have a kid. But anyway, yeah, I've come across a video he's now made that is kind of insulting Cardi B, and I have no idea much about what she knows, if she knows anything, her songs, I guess, would have been something I would have called vile 10 years ago. But now that I see how awful the world is and how crazy people are, I think I completely appreciate Cardi B because she's the angel of gunfire. And that's something that I need a lot. And therefore I'm not too sure what she's saying here. Is she just playing up to her character role, which is meaning that if you get a gunfire for doing shit, well, it's something that you deserve, e.g. if you come against her, as in the gunfire, you deserve it, and I completely understand, and therefore she makes a point about how Jesus rose her up. I'll just show you a bit. We've got some terrible lighting here. I don't know if I can get rid of that shade.
I promise you, if you feel like you're gonna be petty to me, or if you a bitch or a nigga that feel like you're gonna be petty to me, I promise you, you're going to get a day in your life that you're gonna be on your fucking knees asking yourself, damn, why am I going through this? What did I do that I'm going through this shit? And you wanna know what? And you wanna know something? The image of my fucking face is gonna come up in your mind. You're gonna go through because you fuck with me. And you wanna know why? It's not cause I'm a fucking witch like y'all make it seem, cause I'm Dominican, y'all be think I be doing black magic. No, it's cause I'm fucking anointed. I was picked by Jesus. No, I'm really one of God's kids. You wanna know why I'm really one of God's kids? You wanna know how I know I'm anointed? Let me tell you how I know I'm anointed, right? Because you know how many strippers are in America, in the world? You know how many strippers are in America? You know how many have a fat? You know how many can rap? And God chose me to be famous.
Okay, so her justification as to why she's anointed is because there's a lot of scripters in the world with similar attributes. And out of all the scripters with similar attributes that can rap, God chose Cardi to be famous. That's how she knows that she is anointed. It's a very interesting justification. It's incorrect, but still interesting how people come to these conclusions about God.
Okay, I just want to make it clear, I am God, and okay, that guy speaks way too slowly. I think he's a robot. I think he's very, very stupid, to be honest. But yes, that is a very good justification. If someone is famous, it means that God has helped them, because God can control a lot of things. I can't control everything, but the 300 angel names on my list, or I think it's like 500 now, the 500 angel names are people that my higher self has helped. Technically, though, I don't know if it's her or if it's Jesus just being the average person. But yes, Jesus, as in the average person, has helped raise up certain people because whatever reason. I don't know why. Jesus represents the average person, but if the average person is buying into someone's act or buying into someone's music, or wanting to see them in concert, then the average person is Jesus, and that person has raised up these singers, and they have been chosen by God. And yeah, he gave a very slow response there, but he was basically saying that this isn't truth. This isn't the truth. She's not famous because God has chosen her. I mean, technically there are loads of strippers in the world, and she has the one who has been chosen because she has the one that she is the one who has had the fame. But yes, I'm trying to work out mental illness, and I'm trying to work out like why someone can be so mentally ill and yet seem so okay. Britney Spears is definitely very mentally ill, and I don't know what's happened to her, but she's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And I'm kind of looking back to think, like, were there signs? And she did say some things, she just likes Pepsi, that Pepsi's her favourite drink, and yet when you were trying to ask her, like, what flavours there were, she's like, oh, just Pepsi's Pepsi. Like, she couldn't even name a flavour. And it didn't sound intelligent how she was responding. And likewise, this guy is doing a similar kind of thing to how Britney used to act, which was seeming okay, seeming fine, but actually seeming to lack intelligence when it comes to explaining yourself and stuff. And I don't know, but I'm just going through him.
God. People believe that God is going to bless you or anoint you in order to do the opposite of his will. Let me show you something.
Why do you think you know what God's will is? I would love to ask that question to you. Why, if I was to have an interview with these people, I would want to talk to them and say, why do you think you know what God's will is? I mean, technically, it's true that I don't really like Cardi's songs and I don't really like her attitude or her vibe. But at the same time, when I think about all the people that I hate and all the people that are just wrong in so many different ways and just annoying and just preaching crap and claiming to know what my will is when they don't. When I think about these people like that, I think I'm glad that there is someone who's very strong, someone who comes off as a bit like, do what I say or I'm going to give you the bullet. Like she's very much like that. And there's plenty of people all over the world who can be very violent, can be very aggressive. And I think if they thought that was just a side of me, I think they'd have a lot more respect for me. So I'm in favor of her, but only for specific reasons. It's like, you can say, do I want 8-year-olds to die? And I can be honest and say, yeah, I do. And you could think that I'm a monster for that. But then if you actually knew the reason why I wanted 8-year-olds to die, it could be because, well, I'm thinking about people in Africa who have their parents die and yet have to be, they're 8 and yet they have to look after their 6, 2, 3-year-old. And do I think that they'd be better off being dead than having to be a parent of 3 kids when their parents have died, or when there's, people that are probably going to enslave them and just force them into suffering? Do I think they'd be better off dead? Yes, I do. And therefore, if someone does say something that sounds shocking, sometimes there's a good reason behind why they think what they think. And yeah, I think an intelligent person can explain themselves well, which is what I can do. But yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Y'all remember Jesus? He was really anointed.
Stupid people also do that. Y'all remember that? Really, y'all remember? They repeat themselves.
And Jesus said this. This is Luke 4, verse 16. Jesus said, Luke 4:16. And he came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as was his custom, he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and he stood up to read. And the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was given to him. He unrolled the scroll and found the place where it was written. Verse 18, Jesus, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor.
Okay, so that's apparently the story. Jesus went into somewhere and said that. And it's amazing how this guy would read that and be like, well, that's proof that Jesus is God. But it's like, yeah, but is it proof that the captives were free? Is it proof that the year that this person said this, if that person did actually say this, is it proof that that was the year of the Lord? You know, I'm God. I'm the real Lord in human form, and I was not here 2,000 years ago. So if Jesus did go in front of people and say this to a bunch of people, then nothing happened. I wasn't there. I wasn't alive. This is something that needs to happen now. AJ Miller is the Jesus in human form. He's literally the person that inspired this fictional character. So I would love to proclaim that guy comes forward. I don't know how it's going to happen. I mean, there's a possibility that he comes first, and then he says that he talks about there's going to be a rapture that's going to happen in 40 days, and on that day you come and get me. But in reality, the public won't actually know about it or won't know anything that's going to happen, and you know, maybe they'll just think that it was a prophecy that didn't come true, but at the same time still give him promotion. You know, I kind of think that it would be better to meet him first, but I don't need to meet him first. So I don't know what is going to happen. All I really care about is I am some sort of prisoner here. I am some sort of slave to these robots who think that they're smart and think that they can read things like this and be like, this is proof that Jesus is God. Yeah, but it's not proof that anything happened. It's not proof that he actually did stand up in front of a bunch of people. And it's not proof that, why would him saying that mean that it was the year of the Lord's favor? That if it's, I don't know what the year of the Lord's favor is. I mean, either the year of the Lord's favor is referring to the year that a lot of people start killing themselves and the population number starts drastically declining and getting less. You know, that's what I want, and that's what my higher self wants. So the year that people start going and house prices start going down so that they are less stressful towards the people that are trying to buy them, you know, that year is going to be the year that I favor. But technically there's another year that I favor, because I feel like I need time to recover. I need time to learn who is a robot and who is not. You know, is Cardi B someone that knows about me, and did she say that because she knows the importance of gunfire, because that's the name that I've given her, Angel of Gunfire, or Angel of the Fire, if we're going to with the positive name. You know, fire is very important. Fire can be passion and love, and without that you're dead without all of that. But a lot of robots don't have this, and I think that's what makes them a robot. Robots don't understand desire or real emotion, and they would be stupid. You know, they'd read this and just be like, well, that's proof. That they'll just, I don't know. How did he respond to this? I can't even remember how he responded.
This is the most, this is the coldest part right here. That part, that was cold also, but what he did next, he rolled up the scroll, he gave it back to the attendant, and he sat down. And the eyes of all in the synagogue were fixed on him. So imagine, he gets up, he's handed the scroll from the prophet Isaiah. He reads this specific prophecy from the prophet Isaiah. He sits down. Everybody in the synagogue is glued to him, right? And he says this, today, this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing.
But has it? He speaks very, very slowly. Robots are people who are superly impressed about things that are completely unimpressive. There is absolutely nothing impressive about the idea of someone going up in front of a bunch of people and saying this. Were the captives free? Was it the year of the Lord? These are the questions you should be asking. And if you are someone that just reads this and just thinks, wow, I can't believe it, they were all staring at Jesus, how amazing is that? I mean, if I literally just, I don't know, broke into the government and just stood in front of someone and said this shit, and everyone was staring at me, would there be anything impressive about that? No. What would be impressive is actually slaves being free. But yeah, my version of slaves being free is actually just to kill them, because there are way too many people here, and slavery exists because of poverty and people not being able to afford to be able to give themselves luxuries and stuff, and other people wanting the luxuries, hence why there's such a competition for, you know, and things cost, if they want a nice, if these poor people in poverty want a nice house, well, they have to build it, they have to have the materials, and for them to have the materials, there needs to be a bunch of other people that build the bricks, cut out the wood, grow the trees, and it's a whole process of people working for economy and building it up, and so the idea that someone can just go in front of a bunch of people, say this is the year of the Lord, this has not happened. I brought up this scripture because I am wanting to know when my year of the Lord happens, when I actually free. But yeah, I'm trying to work out, is this the year of the year of the Lord? Is that my year where I just have a break and I can just go on a nice holiday where I get treated to nice hotels and have a nice life, and then perhaps, so say if you're coming to me this year, I don't know when you're coming, I don't know when you're going to stop ignoring me, but yeah, is the year of the Lord going to be a break where I just get to do things and try and work out who is a robot and who is not? I want you to go through this list and tell me, does Cardi B know about me? When did she find out about me? And yeah, I don't have too many questions when it comes to her, actually. Because I wasn't really following her. I think I favoured Nicki Minaj at the first. I mean, at first I didn't, because I found her was very, very insulting, and then I started to realise how much I hated this world, and then Nicki Minaj became important, and then I realised that still people were ignoring me, and that the angel list needed to be longer, and then it was like, okay, Cardi B is a good one to add that. But yeah, I can't believe that people are just so impressed with nothing. Oh, I'll turn this off. Still.
That's cold.
What?
And it's truly ain't no discussion, ain't no debate. Jesus was anointed, and he proved it. I
don't understand. How can you be so stupid as to think that someone standing in front of a Sahedron saying this is the year of the anointed, this is the year of the Lord, this is when the captives are going to be set free? But were the captives free? Were they? And to be so impressed. That's what I just listened to that and I was just thinking, I have to make a video, because I don't understand how someone could be so impressed over absolutely nothing. This, I don't know what he is, but this can't be a human. This has got to be some AI. This has got to be a fake human. It walks like a human, it talks like a human, it looks like a human, it's saying like a human, but it's sounding like an idiot. To find a bit of scripture that says that someone said something, even though there was no evidence to prove that what he said was the truth, for him to be so amazed by it, like this isn't real. He's not thinking. If he ends up being similar to that of Britney Spears, or how Xander is looking, Nicholas Brendan, how he's looking right now, if he ends up being like that, I wouldn't be surprised, because I'm looking back at all the things that he's saying. I'm just thinking, is there any intelligence? Is there any real intelligence behind what he's saying? I mean, he looks stable. He looks like he makes what he's saying makes sense, but it doesn't make any sense.
He fulfilled the prophecies.
How?
He proved it.
No, he didn't. Right? How did he prove
it?
That scripture does not say anywhere that he proved it. He just said that they went up and said that this was the year of the Lord. The year of the Lord needs to happen, but I don't know what the year of the Lord is. Is the year of the Lord just a year where I recover from the abuse that I have faced from this world for the last, or is the year of the Lord when I think it's the angel one. From July 14th, that's when the year of the Lord will start, and I'm going to expose all the angels one by one, revealing their names to the public, giving positive names only, and that is going to be the year of the Lord. But is that, I feel like it might be when I'm 40, and I think, I don't know what happens, but if I'm 39 now, then I want you to come and get me. I want to have a nice life. I want to be taken with a group of people. I want to be treated like a princess, and I want to go to lots of different places around the world and be treated nicely. And then in a year's time, AJ Miller needs to come up and he can say all this, but he doesn't have to promote the year of the Lord. I want him to. He can promote the year of the Lord, but I think he should wait until after. I think that should happen afterwards. How long is Jesus' ministry? It's 3.5 years, isn't it? So if his ministry starts this year, then yeah, it would be. It's going to be a slow process. It's not going to happen overnight. But I need a year where I can try and recover, because I can't recover until I know what people know. I need to be told why it is that people have ignored me for so long, who knows about me, why you've chosen to ignore me, and then I just need to enjoy life so that I don't hate people. And then the following year, that's when you expose me to the public and see how they respond. And then maybe the following year expose the angels' positive names. But maybe you should at the beginning just say that all the singers represent different sides of me, because there's another aspect of that, which is that, okay, a lot of the singers don't represent me, and a lot of their songs are very insulting towards me. But yeah, so I don't think that they represent me, but by telling people that they all represent a different side of me, that allows people to make a choice of who they think I am, even if they don't actually know me. So I don't have to get any fame during the exposure of. I mean, and I guess that's another idea that could happen. You come and get me this year, and then one by one, you come and get me just now. Like, I don't want to wait any longer. And then you expose AJ Miller, and then you expose which angels are on my angel list, and you do it by their birthday, but you don't give angel names. You just say that this relates to Anna because of this way, or this relates to Anna, but whilst I am actually just recovering, and I don't know though, because once I get famous, I won't be able to do things. But I suppose if all I'm doing is living in a hotel for a year, then I guess all I need to do is just make sure that I'm not really in public, and it would probably be quite easy to just wear a mask or I don't know.
So, when we sit here and we say that we're anointed, just based on the fact that we're famous, we're completely missing the point.
No, you're missing the point. To think Jesus is anointed just because there's a scripture that said he stood in front of people and said something, even though there was no proof that what he said was the truth. To think that means you're anointed, that's crazy. But to think that you're anointed because you're famous, yes, that is truth. I don't know what my higher self has done, and I don't necessarily know exactly why she's chosen who she's. I think she's chosen from past lives. There might be some terrible, horrible people, but if they went through something in their past life, or if they've achieved something, you have to work with what you have, and that's how it is. You have to work with what you have, and if someone does have this, I'm very strong, or I'm going to swear a lot. Often there's a reason why they've turned out like this, and it's because of past experiences that they have. And if there's a lot of people that have gone through that, then there'll be a lot of people that relate to that person. And there's different reasons why God helps people.
Be anointed, you're implying that you are set apart by God to do
she is.
His work here on earth, right? That's what you're saying.
I'm not going to analyze this more. He just can't believe that Cardi B would ever be a person anointed by God. Well, it's true. All the singers are, and I'm going to. I stand by that, even though I have no idea why I've chosen who I chose. I mean, she's talented. She's a good rapper, and she's got a lot of character. But yeah, I wish I would know out of the singers who knows about me, who is on my side, who is watching my videos, and who generally does not know. I wish I knew this, because there's a possibility that none of them know. There's a possibility that there's just a small group of people who aren't even the Buffy group, and they've just kept everyone in complete darkness. Maybe it's someone it could even just be one person. I know if I would have been born to one of the world's richest people, and if I would have been guided by my spirit to do certain things, I would have done everything very, very differently to how I've done it. And maybe this whole thing is just run by one person who has a similar kind of a spirit, or a similar kind of hearing. If someone else, if a small 5 or 6 people can hear, and it's also a group of people, you know. One person isn't just, I'm not getting helped by anyone, so I can't do anything. But if my situation was different, and if I had a better upbringing where I wasn't saying all the words incorrectly, I don't know why I do that. If I would have had a better upbringing, if I would have had people helping me, if I would have had money to do things, you know, I had so much drive when I was younger, all the things that I wanted to do, if only I had money, but I couldn't get anyone to help me. And if I would have had this, then I would have been in a very different situation. So maybe there is just 5 people who are similar to me who have been doing everything, and therefore none of these singers know anything about me. Maybe that is the truth. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, and I can't enjoy life. I can't be happy until I get the answers about why this has happened and why people are ignoring me and who the fuck is doing this. And I don't even want to meet you. If there's only a handful of people who know about me and you just deliberately kept people in the dark for such a long, I do not want to meet you. I do not want to know you. I want to get a knife and I want to stab you. That's what I want to do.